Taiwan continues to live under the fear of a Chinese invasion. The massive military drills launched by China are over, but Chinese ships continue to test the waters around Taiwan. The U.S. continues to back Taiwan, but how far can Washington go to protect the territory, which Beijing says will retake for sure? Watch our next report for more details.
China continues to probe Taiwan. After holding mega military drills, the Chinese jets and naval vessels continue to keep Taiwan on the edge. Taipei says that in the past 24 hours, it detected 21 Chinese military aircraft and 15 Navy or Coast Guard vessels around its territory. China also readying to invade the island nation with an armada of ferries and civilian vessels. According to reports, Chinese military could use civilian vessels as amphibious landing craft. The civilian vessel could include dozens of gigantic roll-on, roll-off ferries that can each carry hundreds of armored vehicles. A visiting US lawmaker affirmed Washington's support for Taipei against Chinese aggression. This is the first congressional visit to the self-ruled island since it swore in a new president.
For all democracies must stand together against aggression and tyranny, whether it's Putin in Russia, the Ayatollah in Iran, or Chairman Xi next door to us in China.
The words of support for Taipei drew a sharp response from Beijing.
China firmly opposes US-Taiwan military ties, opposes arming Taiwan, and urges relevant US congressmen to stop playing the Taiwan card and stop interfering in China's internal affairs.
Last week, during the two-day drills, China vowed that independence forces would be left with their heads broken and blood flowing. 3D animated videos showed missiles raining down on Taiwanese cities. Beijing has in recent years upped military pressure on Taiwan, maintaining a near daily presence of warplanes, drones and naval vessels around the island. The US is also quietly preparing to checkmate the Dragon. American troops are boosting their presence in nearby Philippines. According to Wall Street Journal, the US and Philippine Marines arrived recently in waves on an island nearly 160 kilometers from the southern tip of Taiwan. China regards Taiwan as a renegade province that must come under its control by force if necessary. The US, like most countries, does not have formal diplomatic ties with Taiwan, but is bound by its own laws to provide the island with the means to defend itself. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
We are now being joined by Lieutenant Colonel Daniel L. Davis. He's a military expert and host of Daniel Davis Deep Dive on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us on WION. Will China attack Taiwan? That's the question that many are asking.
Well, of course, until Xi Jinping makes a decision and starts actions, the answer is maybe. And certainly the risk is growing. The capability, I think, is already there. I know a lot of people are using this figure of 2027 by some U.S. naval experts, but I think that they could go tomorrow if they felt like they needed to. And the longer it goes, the greater their capacity gets. But listen, this would be a catastrophic event for everyone involved. It would be very painful for China itself. And I know that that's going to give them some pause to be able to start, because the economic ramifications for their country would be enormous. But so would it be, obviously, for Taiwan, but including the United States, if especially we chose to actually intervene on behalf of Taiwan, because militarily we are not anywhere near as capable in that area than some people seem to think. And I think it would go very badly for us.
And how far would the Biden administration go to protect Taiwan, in your opinion?
Well, that's the other $1 million question, because depending on what day you want to be talking about, President Biden has said we will intervene on the behalf of Taiwan. Then later they'll kind of walk that back and say, well, maybe we will, maybe we won't. But
Yeah.
if you just look at the way things have been going and the statements that have been made, and I'm talking about the actions in the Indo-Pacific of some of our admirals and generals, the actions that were taken on bolstering our defenses on the Philippines, on Palau, several other places, it certainly looks like we think we might engage. And again, I think that would be a catastrophic mistake and something that the United States should not do.
Lieutenant Colonel, thank you so much for joining us on this Memorial Day, and I hope you had an enjoyable weekend as we remember our fallen soldiers. Thank you for your service.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.